Hey guys, how you doing? It's Friday night, and this is KJ's What Happened. I'm covering the 13th of January through now, through the 19th. So thanks for being here, first off. I really appreciate you taking the time to listen and checking it out. I appreciate you, man, and just thanks. Thanks to the mods. I saw Effie and Mia are here. Ladies, I appreciate it. Thanks so much. And once again, just to you, thank you guys. Also, I have to thank my wonderful sponsor, Silver Botanicals. I'll leave a link below. You can check them out at silverbotanicals.com, where you can replace toxic products in your household with something that won't kill you. I think it's a pretty good deal. I also want to thank those who support my work on Patreon and also on PayPal, which is thescariestmovieever at gmail.com if you're interested. There's links for my Patreon on my website. So thanks, guys. I'm telling you, I really appreciate it. And, you're amazing. So thanks. And if you'd like to support my work, my website, my channel, my shows, as I said, you can check out PayPal and Patreon. So thanks. So without further ado, let's just go ahead and get started. These are bits that I've kind of picked up on throughout the week. So we're going to kind of go through here and just check out some of this. How's that sound? So here's the first. This is really interesting to me. What is new California? And it's not asking California what's new. This is called New California. Rural counties want independence from tyrannical government. So we'll watch some of this together here. Check this out.
So we're building a new state. We think that California and the governmental system of California has not been servicing our needs as citizens and not providing for us a Republican form of government, which is the Constitution says they have to provide. So we're working together right now by forming county groups and organizations to address this issue with our state legislature, the assembly, the state assembly, and also the state senate, and then get their approval to allow us to form a new state. We have an imbalance in the number of representatives in the urban areas versus the rural areas. We have very little representation in the rural counties. So as a result, we will gather and have our own representation in this large new state called New California. And it's really amazing. There are 58 counties in California, and we've been in contact with 57 of the counties right now. You'll end up with probably red California for New California and still blue. By the way, we're going to show all due respect to state of California officials, but the negotiating people will be with the state assembly and with the Senate. The California governor is irrelevant in the process. He's completely irrelevant. He's left out. There's nothing he can say about this. And I clearly believe with the economy in 18 months, we will be forming a new state.
So there's the video. It's pretty wild, huh? Someone's actually trying to do this. For a long time, people have talked about Texas being the first state to do something like this, or Texas seceding from the United States. It's interesting now that we're looking at the possibility of California being divided. That map really tells the tale. Like the majority of California really is more in the red, but then the minority is in the blue, but the minority is all on the coast in San Francisco, LA. And, I lived out there in LA for several years. Some of you already know about kind of my history there. I worked in reality TV for many years, production assistant type stuff mainly, but I had some cool jobs when I was doing it, and was also a writer. I went to film school, had an agent, and was trying to sell scripts and stuff out there. But, there's elements of California I really liked, but politically, of course, it's a mess, especially with Jerry Brown there now. So this will be interesting to see what happens. We're at that time. We're really at that time. The apocalypse, everything's being revealed, everything's coming out, and we're seeing really interesting things like this happen. It reminds me of a dividing happening as well, like between the sheep and the goats, or the wheat and the tares, in a sense. So anyway, I wanted to share that with you. So let's see what else we've got here. We'll just kind of jump somewhere here in the middle, I guess. See what this is.
More about a rare side effect in children who take Tamiflu, one that, as CBS 11
We took possession of the Gulf Stream 5, and we give God praise for it and thanksgiving. It is debt-free.
Sorry, I got something that just started up over here.
It's a big airplane. Hey, are you looking at this? Hey, are you seeing this? I hope so. You bought it.
There it is. So give me a second. I don't know what just happened, but all these YouTube channels just started up. So give me a second here.
I want to talk to you straight. I will go back and do some edits so that I can provide proof.
This is a live NASA feed.
Oh man, come on. I'm sorry, guys. Something happened, and now like there's 3 videos playing at the same time. So just give me a second here.
Unfortunately, it's a large
Okay, stop that. And let's see, where's this one?
Oh yeah, there it is.
Not that. Not that.
What the heck was that?
Not that. Let's see. This one. Okay. Okay, sorry about that, man. Like I said, we just had like 2 or 3 YouTube videos pop off at the same time. So I guess you got a couple of spoilers. Saw some of the stories I was looking at, but let's just go ahead and start here from the end. And I'll show you this one right here. I got a lot of things I just want to share with you as far as videos and stuff tonight too. So check this one out. This is from Kenneth Copeland Ministries. Kenneth Copeland is one of those huge televangelists. He's been around for years, but he's real happy about this brand new jet he got. So just check this out.
This is Friday, January the 12th, 2018. We took possession of the Gulf Stream 5, and we give God praise for it and thanksgiving. It is debt-free. This is a big deal, man. It's a big airplane. Hey, are you looking at this? Hey, are you seeing this? I hope so. You bought it.
You bought it.
You and Jesus.
You bought it. You and Jesus.
Are you seeing this? I hope so. You bought it. You and Jesus.
Anyway, I'll just pause there. That's basically the gist of the video. The rest is him just talking about how cool the jet is and whatnot. But, well, you know, it says a lot. You know, it says a lot. I mean, just seriously, think of all the people that they could have helped if they didn't buy that jet, right? I'm sure it's worth a lot of money. It's a private jet. I mean, they could take that money and maybe get people in the church, maybe every Wednesday or something like that, you know, go out and hand out bags of food and fresh blankets or something to the homeless, you know, whatever, right? But just, you know, give it back to the people, put it back to the people somehow. But instead we're buying private jets. And he said, you people bought it, you know, my followers, my flock. Oh, and Jesus, he chipped in too. How nice. And this is where, even like with me, I get into issues sometimes with my work with the really religious people. They'll come at me as if I'm, you know, some mouth-breathing, knuckle-dragging demon, you know, that's against the Lord, you know, just because I'm anti-religion. And to me, it works the other way around. That being said, though, I don't, you know, go against people who want to go to church and stuff. Everyone has their own path. Who am I to intrude or be in the way? I just tell you what my truth is. You know, I've already gone through a period of time in my life where I explored all kinds of denominations of the Christian church and wound up finding myself in a place where I didn't want to go to any of them. And I just wanted to have my own personal relationship with God. Through Jesus Christ, read the Bible myself, and, you know, live my life. I know I'm a bad guy. But, yeah, so seeing things like this, it's a bummer to me. You know, Kenneth Copeland Ministries, Kenneth Copeland. Multi-millionaire, I'm sure. But what else could you be doing with this money? I mean, do you really need, like, all these fancy cars and a mansion and a fancy airplane to do God's work? If Jesus was here today, would he be doing this? Like, would he be on this video talking about, hey, everyone, thanks a lot for believing in me. High five, thumbs up. And thanks for helping me purchase this brand new jet airplane. I don't think so, but anyway. So there you go, Kenneth Copeland. Some of the problems with the religious people. Maybe I'm being too judgmental. I don't know. This is just what I think and how I feel. For all I know, if he's saving souls, then fantastic. You know, I mean, again, I don't know this guy, but there you have it. Let's just go down the row here and see what happens. Here's just something I was going to share with you. The top 10 most bizarre Mars photos that can't be explained. And he's got a list of them here, so I'll just kind of look at some. I thought these were interesting. I did a video a few years ago on Mars. I wasn't on Mars when I did it, but I did a video about Mars a few years ago. It's on my KG Osborne channel. Anyway, a lot of people are really into looking at these photos and trying to find things. So here's some here. Let's just see what we got. There's 2 crashed and or buried UFOs. Let's see what this is. Page not found. So there goes that. That sucked. Let's try this one. Hand or foot near rover. Alien hand or foot near the rover. Let's see. And yeah. Okay. This is why I'm not really that much into these Mars things a lot of the time, because I never know what to look for or where to look. I don't see a hand or a foot. I don't see the rover. Am I wrong? So anyway, there's that. If you see something, let me know. Put it down in the chat or something, but I don't really see anything there. So let's see. Alien creature with baby. This ought to be good. Hopefully we can see something. It's not just a bunch of rocks. Alien creature with baby. I don't see. Now, maybe that's it. But that totally looks like it could be photoshopped. I mean, I guess that's why I don't really get too much into this Mars stuff a lot of the time, like these Mars photos, because who knows, you know. Alien under collapsed building. Okay. Let's see here. Alien under collapsed building. Again, I don't see a collapsed building and I don't see an alien. So much for this story. I had high hopes this might be kind of cool. Well, is that a collapsed building? I don't know. I don't know what I'm looking at. Look, pyramids. You know, again, I'm kidding. They're just small rocks. They all do look kind of like pyramids. But anyway, so much for that. That story sucks. Let's just move on. What do you say? This is just something I want to share with you. I'm not going to play anything, but you should, you know, if you're interested, you should go check this out. Vigilant Christian shared this. It's ex-atheist Satanist comes to Jesus. Man, I even wrote down here to him that this is, this is one of the best videos I've ever seen. And I mean it. This right here is one of the most powerful testimonies I've ever heard. It's because he was really in it. Like, he exposes a lot of the stuff about Masons connected with Satanism and all the Illuminati symbolism and all that stuff. Like, he was deep into all this kind of stuff for years, you know, with people that were in it. So, and he came out of it, and it's just a very, very interesting story. It's one of the most fascinating testimonies I ever heard. So if you're interested, please check this video out. In fact, I think I'm going to link it up on my website this week as well, just to get it out there some more. So there you go. If you're into that kind of thing. Some people get mad at me when I start talking about Jesus. You know, I get people get mad at me, and but fair enough. But I have to share my truth. You know, I have a wide audience with different beliefs and whatnot, but this is me just kind of sharing what I believe. Oh, so this right here. Dear Deidre, I'm sick of my husband's threesome and fetish demands. And I'm not going to read the whole thing, really. It's just the story itself. You know, this is a real, excuse me. You know, this is a real thing that's happening all over the place. And I've seen it around in real life, like with friends of friends and things like this, or I hang out in groups. I'll hear a lot of people talking about this, about having threesomes, or the guys are always talking about how cool it'd be to pull a third party into the bedroom. And this is the part that sucks. It's one of the reasons I left America many years ago, and I had to come back, last year, but I had an accident. But I don't want to be here. I didn't want to be back in America, and I still don't want to be. And it's actually something I'm dealing with now, because the only main reason I'm really here is because my mom and dad. And, I can do what I do anywhere pretty much. You know what I mean? So I've been dealing with the idea of, like, I guess it's self-sacrifice. Sometimes you just have to put things on the shelf and do something for other people. And it means the world to my parents for me to be around, be back in America and stuff. And, and I love them, and it's been great and everything, but it's just that, I don't like being here. I don't like being in the beast. I don't just make these videos and talk about this stuff and then just, that's it. I'm real. It's real. Like, I live this and I feel it. And I don't like being in this place. I don't like being in America. I don't like being in the beast system. No offense. It's just not for me. I want to be other places. I want to go explore. I want to see things outside of this beast. When I'm here, I feel it, I see it, and I'm around it all the time, and I don't like it. So I hear people talking about this, friends of friends, groups of people you'll be around, and how cool and hot it'd be to pull a third party into the bedroom with you. And that's where I know I'm a peculiar person. That's where I know I don't fit in, because I'm not cool with that stuff. It's like, we made a vow before God to love one another, to become one. And then it's like putting a middle finger right up into God's face and like pushing it so close you're touching his nose. When you start doing disgusting things like this, that's just me. It's the way I see it. It's not hot. I don't think it's cool. This is debaucherous. It's destructive. But you see it in all these movies and TV shows, and I watch some of the daytime TV stuff sometimes during the day when I'm working on videos, and it's usually like garbage stuff, and I won't watch all of it. I'll keep the volume off most of the time, but occasionally I'll click on there and kind of see what's happening. Like Maury Povich and Steve Wilkos and some of these kind of shows, even some of those judge shows. But it's a common theme I see all the time. It's like people doing this, married people pulling a third party in. It's usually the guy trying to yank another woman in there with him. So, this is a thing. It's a symptom of the sickness of America Babylon. I don't like it. I see it everywhere, and it makes me sick. I don't want to be here anymore. Sorry. No offense. No offense, America. And I know other parts in the world have their issues as well. Don't get me wrong, but I've experienced it. I was in Costa Rica for a few years, and I saw that it's not near as bad in places like, and I traveled a lot down in South and Central America. Not at all like that down there, man. It's very different, But I'm here. I see it. I feel it. I go out. You talk to people. You hear people talking. It's all around me. And anyway, I'm rambling. So I'm going to move on. It's just a weird conspiracy here. This is so weird. Kardashian fans have a totally bizarre theory that Kylie Jenner gave birth to Kim's new baby, which, as much as these Satanists are into bloodlines, I seriously wouldn't be surprised if this is what happened. It says, just days ago, Kylie, 20, was rumored to be in labor herself, although TMZ was quick to report that this was not the case, despite intense fan speculation. So they recanted the story, okay? However, with Kim, 37, announcing the arrival of her third child today, fans believe it's too much of a coincidence and that Kylie actually was the one carrying her sister's child. Writing on Twitter, they posted, y'all find it a coincidence that Kylie was rumored to have gone into labor this weekend and then Kim welcomes baby number 3 on Monday? I don't know why I care this much, but I need them to announce that Kylie was the surrogate. Kylie gave birth to Kim's baby and Travis Scott is biological dad. Kanye is a genius. Stay woke, people. This is so weird. Just 2 days ago, it was reported that Kylie was in labor, which they later said was false. Now Kim and Kanye are welcoming their new baby into the world. So all this time, Kylie was really the effing surrogate. Which honestly, I wouldn't be surprised, man. I mean, you know, the mainstream is recanting this and acting like it was a surrogate outside of the family. But if you research this kind of thing, which I have for a very long time, some of you have too, it's a continuing theme is maintaining their bloodlines. So I wouldn't be surprised. So there's one you might want to look into. There you go. Okay, this one. Some women enjoy being raped, claims ex-porn star as she joins hundreds of French women slamming MeToo movement. So is the counterstrike. The pendulum is swinging. And look how far out it goes. Bridget LaHaye, 62, also signed an open letter attacking the MeToo movement. She was one of 100 women who signed the open letter attacking the MeToo movement, which seeks to stop the sexual harassment and assault of women. And there she is. That's her right there. The adult star-turned-radio host apologized and wept in a television interview after she was disowned by members of the 100 Women for her horrific comments about rape victims. The group, which included the film star Catherine Deneuve, 74, caused an outcry in France with their attack on the Puritan persecution of men after the Harvey Weinstein scandal. But Miss LaHaye was condemned by several other signatories for saying a rape victim could experience orgasm during the attack in a TV debate. Okay. So the pendulum swings. And it's going out really, really far. So there you go. Chaos ensues. Here's one that I love and I can get behind. And I've covered some of this in videos throughout the years, but I would believe a hollow earth way before I'd ever believe about a flat earth. No offense. I know this is going to upset people. I'll see the comments down below and I'll block you as usual, but the whole truth inside the weird world of conspiracy theorists convinced the earth is hollow with alien humans and Nazis living inside. If you don't know anything about the hollow earth, look into it. I'm going to show you some footage on something kind of cool here in a second too. There's a growing community of people convinced the earth is hollow with a race of superior alien humans, Vikings, and Nazis living in paradise at the center. Now, I don't know about all that stuff, but I do tend to believe in a hollow earth, and I'll show you some stuff on that. The hollow earth map right there. Soon you're going to, now it's the hollow earthers versus the flat earthers. Uh-oh, bum, bum, bum. They even believe that flying saucers and UFOs come from within the interior Earth, sent from the highly evolved tribes to spy on us and permit nuclear. He was so confident in the theory that he organized a 2007 voyage to the hollow Earth with a plan to set off from Russia, breaker ship, to find an opening at the North Pole. See, everyone always says, you know, the flat earth people always say, well, that's why you can't go to these different parts of the world, north or south, and, you know, they're guarded and all that because they don't want you to know the truth about the flat earth. But what if they're actually guarding the entrances to the hollow earth? What if that's actually what's going on? Just throwing it out there, you know. I guess these are supposed to be, again, who knows? That's in 1970, June 1970. First photos of the hole at the pole. Satellite. There's that. He told Sun Online that the movement has exploded in popularity with thousands subscribing to the idea. More and more people are coming to terms with the fact that the earth is hollow. I get emails from people learning about it every day. And again, this is, you know, this comes out around the time of the flat earth stuff, and, you know, who knows? Interesting, though, I think. Let's see here. Of course, yeah, now they're connecting with flat earth here. I don't know how the flat earthers can be so confused. Where'd that go to? Here we go. They say, so what does Mr. Clough think of the loony rival theory that the earth is flat? I don't know how the flat earthers can be so confused, he said. They are obviously wrong. The world is not flat, it's hollow. They reject all the evidence. Contrary to flat earthers, the hollow earth movement believes the planet is a sphere, or more specifically, a donut-type shape. And the theory does not just stop at our Earth. The group believes the moon, sun, stars, and other planets are all hollow bodies as well. There's thought to be 3 substantial openings into the inner Earth, 2 near the poles and 1 in the Himalayas. He believes the shell of the Earth is about 800 miles thick from the outside to the inner surface. Suspended in the center of that hollow is an interior sun that is divided by day and night sides. Those who claim to have traveled to the inner Earth have described the land as like the Garden of Eden. Norwegian sailor Olaf Johnson claimed he sailed with his dad through an entrance to the Earth's interior at the North Pole in 1811. He told author Willis George Emerson how they lived in the beautiful paradise for 2 years. The city of Eden is located in what seems to be a beautiful valley, yet in fact it is on the loftiest mountain plateau of the inner continent, Jansen said. He claimed superhumans were living there, and they were at least 12 feet tall and they never got sick. The giants. Interesting. As the hollow earth theory has grown in popularity, so has the speculation about the people apparently living there. The model, I guess, I'll show it, is now thought to be home to Nazis who escaped from World War II, the lost Viking colonies of Greenland, and the lost tribes of Israel. Mr. Clough, who lives in Utah, says the superior human race living at the center of the earth consider themselves guardians of the planet. They regularly spy on us using spacecrafts and flying saucers. Interesting article. Let me see here. UFO. Show you something here. There you go. It's one of the most classics from 2012 here. This is mainstream news, and this isn't the only one. There have been a lot of examples of this since. And here's just one, though. Again, I've seen 3 or 4 of these separate videos, separate footage, like news footage even, showing the same anomaly. But anyway, check this out. You'll see one of the cigar-shaped UFOs going into the volcano. That's what I think they call them Velixi. You can look up the Velixi aircraft. I've done videos on this, also connecting it possibly to the flying scrolls spoken of in the Bible. But that was from a CCTV camera there. So that's just one example. And it's interesting, you know, again, it makes you wonder about the whole hollow earth thing and why do we see these UFOs going into volcanoes. Right? So look that up. You'll find plenty of examples. So just something I wanted to throw out there. Thought it was interesting. It's just a heads up for people. I know some people out there are really into sending off their DNA to Ancestry.com. And well, I mean, it's on you. You know, I would never do it ever. But you know, some people want to know. I mean, I was adopted. You know, if anybody, you'd think I'd be interested in this. But I don't like the idea of these companies having, you know, my actual DNA. It just freaks me out. But anyway, so Ancestry.com, this is the DNA company, made its privacy policy more transparent, but it still claims to own your DNA. So when you spit in a test tube in hopes of finding out about your ancestry, you're giving companies like Ancestry DNA access to a whole lot of very intimate details about what makes you, you. But how consumer genetic testing companies actually use your DNA is often obscured behind many pages of vague, jargon-filled legalese. And yeah. Ancestry DNA, owned by the company behind family tree website Ancestry.com, has taken at least one step toward making its policies more transparent. That's good. In addition to that, the company combined its policies for Ancestry so that users can find them in one place instead of two. Blah, blah, blah. They still keep trying to say they own your data, said Winston. So don't do it. I mean, do what you want. I wouldn't. Wow. Sending your DNA off to one of these companies. I don't know, guys. I don't know. It ain't for me. There's two stories back to back here I wanted to show you here. And this is from just this past week. Humanity will live in a hellish dystopia as robots take over billions of jobs, leaving people to lead meaningless and miserable lives, claims scientists. The U.S. opioid addiction is an early omen of a dystopian future, he claims. Totally. Brave New World, Aldo Huxley. I can't remember the name of the drug everybody took in that book, and they also made a movie out of it, Brave New World. There's some kind of a drug. The masses were all under the influence of drugs, and their computers basically did run everything. And we've heard this. We know. We see this programming in movies and TV shows, all the predictive programming of this. All the end times type shows, like Walking Dead. Excuse me, Walking Dead. V, the TV series V that came out a while back. Gosh, there's so many. And I'm just trying to think of some of these right now. Oh my gosh. There was one they just had out a while back. Had the guy from Lost was in it. Colony. So Colony is one. Like I said, there's tons of these kind of things. Anyway, and that's just, a handful, but we know it's out there. We know the conditioning's taking place. So we know that this is a possibility, but here's what I thought was interesting. So this is a recent story. You ever heard of the website called The Onion? The Onion is the original fake news. It's like a fake news website, and they admit it. They just make kind of funny headlines and funny stories, and they come off as if they're real, right? And they've been doing this for years. I mean, like a decade or so, over a decade that I know of. They've been around for a long time. So here's a story from The Onion. And this is from the year 2000. May 2000. The future will be a totalitarian government dystopia versus the future will be a privatized corporate dystopia. I was reading through this right here. And it's basically saying a lot of what this story was saying right here. But the difference is that, in this one, it's kind of a jokey type thing and they're having some fun with it. But this one here, it's real. So it just goes to show you the stuff that they were mocking and making fun of a long time ago about this creepy dystopian future is actually coming to fruition. But that's the way it all works. All these things that we consider truth-type subjects, it all seems to work that way, doesn't it? Like they start off mocking it, ridiculing it, and then many years later they find out it's the truth, right? They find a way to give it out to the mainstream after all the conditioning. How your car is spying on you. Experts reveal how automakers can track everything from your weight to the food you eat using inbuilt sensors. And even that scares me. I mean, do we really need all this stuff? I keep seeing these commercials for Alexa. There's like 3 different systems you can buy and put them in your house, like an Alexa. I can't remember the other ones, but you know what I'm talking about. There's a few of them where you can talk to it, right? And you can have it do things like play music or turn on the TV, or whatever. I mean, it's just kind of the beginning of this thing. And again, that's all stuff we've seen in movies and TV shows about the future from many years ago. People walking into a house and saying, lights on, and this, that, and the other, and it all taking place. Well, now we're seeing it play out in the real. We're literally living in in many respects, those science fiction films we've been seeing for years. Like, it's happening now. And again, this is a part of that whole predictive programming and also social engineering. It prepares us for these types of things. So now your car, of course, is spying on you. Experts have revealed the myriad of ways that your car can spy on your personal habits. Automakers track your vehicle's location, how fast you drive, what entertainment you listen to through internet-connected systems in modern cars. Newer cars can even record a driver's eye movements, the weight of people in the front seats, the weather on your street, and where you prefer to eat. Companies use personal information collected from tens of millions of vehicles around the globe, and many keep tight-lipped about what they use the data for. I'm going to take a drink here. Excuse me. Thanks. Some privacy experts say modern cars collect enough data about drivers that profiles as unique as fingerprints could be developed, which could then be sold to marketing firms. Specifically, a vehicle's location data poses the greatest risk to customers and their privacy. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but interesting though. Cars, everything's spying on you. The TV's spying on you, your computer's spying on you, your car's spying on you. I know for a fact my cat spies on me. But outside of that, all these things in the beast system are looking back at us. TV's watching you now. Your computer's watching you now. Your car's watching you now. These systems you set up in your house, Siri and whatever else, these other kind of systems you can talk to and engage with, these artificial intelligence systems, are listening to you and watching you. Ohio State course reprimands white heterosexual masculinity. Toxic masculinity. And again, this is just the whole as above, so below, flipping reality upside down, turning everything around, a perversion of whatever is, quote, normal, or from God, let's say. A perversion of all that. Turning it backwards, flipping it upside down, just perverting it. A class taught this spring at Ohio State University will review a parade of reasons why white heterosexual masculinity is allegedly problematic, tackling the topic from the constructs of racial issues, bullying, pop culture, societal expectations, and much more according to its syllabus. Who would ever take that class? The course, Be a Man, Masculinities, Race, and Nation, includes a variety of readings to that end, including its required textbook, Dude, You're a Fag, by C.J. Pascoe, which analyzes masculinity as not only a gendered process, but a sexual one. Yeah. Other assigned reading examples or excerpts include Masculinity versus Homophobia, UGG, Advertising and the Construction of Violent White Masculinity, Dude Sex, Dudes Who Have Sex with Dudes. Oh my gosh. Looking for my penis and sodomy in the New World. Look at that. Sodomy in the New World. They love it. They love pushing this. This is what they want. They love it. Because it's natural, right? It's beautiful and natural for a man to want to force his erect penis into another man's doo-doo hole. Teaching men's anal pleasure is another one. So you see what they're doing here. It's natural for a man to want to force his erect penis into another man's doo-doo hole. It's a beautiful act of nature. Meteorite in Michigan. I think I have a video of that. Most of you guys may have heard about this, but anyway, there were scraps or little bits of the meteor, some fragments that some people found. It's kind of cool. I want to show that one. That's about it. Just a little blurb on that. Men treated as dogs and pigs in Paris catwalk shows against this extreme attack on men rise of the matriarchy, the mother goddess worship, all that stuff. It's all the old ways of the mystery religions of Babylon are here now, manifesting. Paris Men's Fashion Week began in earnest Wednesday with 2 collections showing what dogs and pigs men can be. Awesome. As the industry reels from a new sexual harassment scandal. French designer Julian David sent out his models wearing dogs' heads, from a macho man-spreading Doberman to an intellectual whippet and a splayed poodle in dungarees. There's a guy a man in a pig suit. I wanted to study the human species with a bit of distance. It's a bit of a human laboratory, he said. Yet as David put the final touches to his study of male types, including a very predatory-looking German shepherd with his tongue hanging out, little did he know that the fashion world would be hit by new allegations this weekend that 2 star photographers had harassed a string of models. I'm going to see if I can find some of these pictures. With little piggy ears sticking out of their hoods and strategically placed holes over erogenous zones, the outfits took a dark and world-weary take on the male condition. One-eyed monster, Dream Daddy Pig, read one of his skin-colored, skin-tight tops. I'm just going to go see if I can... Let's take a look at some pictures of this, because I haven't seen it. There he is. French designer Julian David. Oh, you already see the Masonic here. No surprise there, right? So we got your Masonic checkerboard. Let's see. Models. Oh, there's one. Reminds me of Puppy Monkey Baby. Puppy Monkey Baby. Is that what the thing's called? The Puppy Monkey Baby? Which is a chimera? I hear it said different ways. But a mixing. Another perversion of what's natural. Hybrids. Puppy Monkey Baby. That's it. Puppy Monkey Baby. The old Super Bowl commercial. Anyway, just again, it's a perversion of what's natural, perversion of natural order. Puppy Monkey Baby. That's what it's called, right? It's not okay to sexualize a child. Beauty blogger is slammed for sharing snap of a toddler in heavy makeup and fake lashes. I mean, this is just all too common, but I just wanted to share again. How old's this kid? How old's this tot? It's a tot. Jeepers. Yeah, and why do you wear makeup, right? To be more attractive, I guess, is the basic, right? To look prettier. So we're told this is what looks good. But to do this to a baby like this, a little kid, again, we don't need this. Like Toddlers and Tiaras and all those kind of shows. Looks like people got pissed. That's good. People should get pissed about stuff like this. You know, sexualizing of children. It's nice to know that some people are still getting upset about stuff like this and will say something, you know? It looks like a 4-year-old or something, 4 or 5 years old. A tot. A TOT. Tot. Like looks like a like a young teenager there with the makeup. So it's what they do. There's I should have put this up on the list, but there's a movie that I just saw advertised yesterday, and it won a ton of awards apparently late last year. And you can look it up. The only way I know is the actor Armie Hammer is in it, and he was in the Lone Ranger like a few years ago. But he's in it. But it's a movie, and it seems to be, just what I could see from the commercial and everything, a pedophile movie. It's about a guy having an affair with a young man. It's a gay movie. This dude's having an affair with a young man that looks like he's, I don't know, 15, 16 years old, something like that. Won tons of awards. Maybe in the movie they say he's 17. I don't know. But regardless, it just goes to show them, pushing the limits. This is what they want. I think they want that widely accepted. It's pedophile stuff. And this isn't helping. And this kind of goes hand in hand with that. This is about the actress Millie Bobby Brown from Stranger Things. Have you seen Stranger Things? Season 1 or 2? Or 1 and 2? You check it out, though. It's a geeky show. I like this geeky type stuff. But it's also filled with, not subliminals, but filled with symbols. Also covers a lot of the things we cover, a lot of so-called conspiracies, but this is how it comes out, into the mainstream. They talk about MK Ultra experiments and mind control and the upside down, the as above, so below paradigm, and darkness coming up to the surface and manifesting in our reality and all this stuff. So there you go. She's in the crosshairs of something extremely dangerous. Millie Bobby Brown should focus less on social media attention and more on acting, warns her co-star. She could fall into the potential pitfalls of being very famous at the tender age of 13, says her co-star David Harbour. And he plays Jim Hopper, the police chief on the show. He feels the actress needs protection growing up in Hollywood. And it's good of him. If he's being real and earnest about this, that's great. He says she's in the crosshairs of something extremely dangerous that nobody seems to be paying attention to. I think that the pitfalls are very deep in terms of this generation, this fame, this Instagram generation of constantly wanting to get likes. And there she is. She's 13. That's her at 13. Looks like she's in her early 20s. I mean, this goes back to this stuff. I see a lot of this with Dr. Phil too, like that Cash Me Outside, How About That girl, Danielle Bergolia, I think her name is. But he's had a lot of young people on his show like that, that 13, 14 years old, they're out of control. They go on his show and then they hit some form of fame in social media. That Cash Me Outside girl is not the only one. And she's about that age when she went on Dr. Phil. And she's been totally sexualized. I've covered a few stories here on her, here on the show. Excuse me, I'm really got a dry mouth here. Hold on. So it's just more of it. And that's David Harbour. There she is. 13. The Hollywood actress pose, right? Can you imagine being 13 though and having all this attention poured on you? It'd be hard to keep your head together, right? So, but this is what our society is leaning towards. It's also, our stars are becoming much younger. The idols they put up for us to worship are becoming much younger. It's all part of that conditioning. The way I see it. Squatch Watch. What is Bigfoot and how many sightings have there been of Sasquatch? All you need to know. I've gone back and forth on this subject throughout the years because I'm into all kinds of things, subjects, weird subjects, but I get bored with Sasquatch a lot. I'll be honest with you. I get bored. It just seems like most of the stuff that comes out is usually garbage, except for some of the footprints they find. The footage, I never know what to make of because there's crazy videos that come out and interesting footage people capture, but who knows, I'm from the Midwest. I'm from Oklahoma, and there's lots of stories of this. Like in Indian culture, they talk a lot about the Bigfoots and Sasquatches. Even in Oklahoma, they say there's some. So I am interested, just not super interested. Maybe I should be more interested. I don't know. But even right there is a list of, I guess, all these times they thought they've captured footage of them and had some major events around the Sasquatch. I don't know. There's a lot of stories here. Maybe we can find a video. See if there's a new video. What's this? Here's one. Let's see how this looks. I turn the music off. I get copyright for this music stuff. Okay, let's see. Can I make this bigger? All right. I don't know, man. I mean, that could have been anything, you know? Like, I just don't know. Maybe, or just is a bear? Maybe a bear, right? It looks like it's probably a bear. There's that. See, this is usually my experience when I watch these Sasquatch videos. I mean, if anybody knows of some really good ones, maybe you can leave a link below or let us know about this stuff. Here's one. Let's see if this is some video footage here. I want to believe. Huh. He's pretty close. That's one of the closer videos I've seen of one of these things. Crimea. So the Crimean Peninsula in Russia and Ukraine. Okay. The caption reads, "I don't know who or what it is." Huh. So there's that. Let's see. Were there any other videos over here of Sasquatch? Oh, okay, I guess we're done. I guess it moved away from that story. Okay, fine. We'll move on here. So this is good news right here. Real good news, in fact. I think they have a picture of it. Let's see. There it is. Do you remember they did this? This is just a few weeks ago. Google did this where they had the fact checkers. And down here, they had the Washington Post as a fact checker and PolitiFact. Oh, my goodness. And of course, these are leftist type organizations, right? But they're going to do the fact checking on every story that comes through Google, you know. And there's also Snopes, which is a total joke. So there's Snopes. Again, these left agenda having leftist organizations did all the fact checking for Google. We all knew it was an idiotic idea when we first heard about it. So it looks like it didn't work out so well. Google says it's discontinuing its fact check feature because it proved to be too faulty for public use, directly attributing the decision to an investigation by the Daily Caller News Foundation. The company has no date set for when it will return, if ever. We launched the reviewed claims feature at the end of last year as an experiment with the aim of helping people quickly learn more about news publications, a spokeswoman for Google said, while also adding that the DCNF was the catalyst for the recent move. We said previously that we encountered challenges in our systems that maps fact checks to publishers, and on further examination, it's clear that we are unable to deliver the quality we'd like for users. Yes, there it is. That's good. Bye-bye. I'm glad that failed. You guys might remember this. Stupid. Right here it says, first, as far as the issues, the legitimate outlets chosen were virtually all ones with conservatives audiences. What? The Daily Caller, for example, was given such treatment while sites like Vox, Slate, oh, I get it. Sorry, I missed a paragraph. There were two main problems with the fact check widget, which appeared on the sidebar of Google's search results. First, the legitimate outlets chosen were virtually all ones with conservative audiences. Yes, so they were only targeting more conservative or right-leaning stories, right? The Daily Caller, for example, was given such treatment, while sites like Vox, Slate, The Huffington Post, Mother Jones, and several others clearly on the left side of the political spectrum were not checked, which is true. Second, and perhaps most importantly, many of the fact checks were wrong. One of the purported reviewed claims was for an article that straightforwardly reported that yet another member of special counsel Robert Mueller's investigative team was a donor for former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton and former President Barack Obama. Google attributed the fact check to Washington Post, something its vice president of communications took issue with. All right. Anyway, there you go. Tweaking the algorithms. They're all messing with the algorithms. It's nice to see that failed. It's another way to control free speech, to limit free speech. This one's pretty wild. Check this out. Look what happened to this young lady after taking Tamiflu. Right? Check this out. We'll watch this together.
It can lead to hallucinations, delusions, and even suicide attempts. Our Brooke Rogers broke the story last week, and since then, other families have come forward. Brooke is live in Dallas with one father's story. Brooke?
Well, Gilma, the Allen family we spoke to last week said their 6-year-old daughter tried to jump out of a second-story window after taking Tamiflu. They now tell us, thankfully, she is okay, but we have learned they are not alone. This was Lindsay Ellis of Indianapolis before she had the flu last year, before she began hallucinating bugs on her body and the devil's voice in her ear.
It literally reminded me of like a scary movie at that time. I'm like, is my daughter possessed? What is really going on?
Her father says doctors believe it was a reaction to Tamiflu.
About day 3 of her on the medicine, she's acting just loopy.
The 11-year-old was hospitalized for nearly 2 months, had a feeding tube, and was incoherent and unable to move her hands or feet for several weeks.
Not knowing if my daughter was going to make it from day to day, because the doctors are telling me I don't know what to do. And it was horrific, I think, for anybody involved in it that came to see her.
A year later, she still suffers tremors. Ellis, like the other families we have heard from, wants more transparency when it comes to Tamiflu, better labeling on the packaging, and warnings from doctors who prescribe it. It's something Japan took a step further. They banned Tamiflu for youth ages 10 to 19 in 2007 after several dozen instances of neuropsychiatric events. And a spokesperson from manufacturer Genentech sent us a statement. It says, in part, neuropsychiatric events have been reported during administration of Tamiflu in patients with influenza.
Don't forget your Tamiflu. So here's a pharmaceutical that's making a girl see spiders appear all over her bodies and hear the devil in her ear. Don't forget your flu shots. Don't forget any of this stuff. This medication, this pharmakia. I'll show you something though right here. This is interesting. And I put this in a video way back. This is, I believe this is a CBS from, I think it's in Denver, in Colorado. I may be wrong, but regardless, if you look right here, there's so much going on. All the occult symbolism right here. You got the 11. The 11, first off, is a power number or a master number, and that's really important to the occultists. It's the twins. It's the twin towers as well. So it's the twin system, the twin towers. It's the 11. It's got a Baphomet right here in the middle. It's got the upside down star, right? And the all-seeing eye right next to it. You can't make this up. This is seeing the beast system right here all around us, right? So let's go ahead and click out of this thing, if we can. Here, let's do
Influenza, especially in children and adolescents. These events are also experienced.
Don't forget your flu shots. Don't forget your Tamiflu. Here's an interesting picture. These people were at a bachelorette party. They were taking a picture together. It's in Scotland. And here's the picture. Bunch of beautiful young ladies, it seems. Nothing wrong with that. But look right back here, and this is the story, okay? They say this wasn't there before. So the women who celebrated a pal's upcoming wedding on a remote estate in Scotland were left horrified after snapping a burst of pictures just seconds apart. In one of the images, in which the friends are seen posing with their arms in the air with some armed with masks, a small boy can be seen crouching behind a wooden stump. The women reportedly fled the after they researched a property and discovered a story about a child who sleptwalked into the lake and drowned. It appears the story may be that of the Blue Boy, a television film broadcast on the BBC in 1994 about a 4-year-old who drowned in Loch Eck. So is that the Blue Boy right there making an appearance? Some creepy, wicked spirit coming in the form of a child, in the form of a little blue boy. In an interview with the Herald in 1994, the Blue Boy screenwriter Paul Merton said, "I was talking to the hotelier about it, and he mentioned the Blue Boy. This," he said, "was a young child who had been on holiday with his parents in the hotel, and he had been sleepwalking during the night. He'd strayed outside, fallen into the loch and drowned. When they found his body, it was blue from the cold." That Blue Boy. Here's a couple more I'm going to run side by side for you.
This is a lot.
It's interesting. Just check this out. Interesting footage here. So let me blow this up some. And all right, check this out.
I have NASA feed, and then it's been taking pictures of the ionosphere. Then it zooms on the North Pole. I don't know if it's auto tracking something, and then these come into sight. Don't know what they are, and then it zooms in really close. North Pole. I don't know if it's auto tracking something, and then these come into sight. Don't know what they are, and then it zooms in really close on one. Or no, my picture was, oh yeah, there it is.
Look at that. So the official story on that is, that's crazy though. It's like watching Star Wars or something. Somebody said that this is what they are, that they're the Grace FO satellites. So I guess this is a thing. It kind of looks like it. So maybe that's what it was, is these people seeing these satellites. But those were crazy looking, man. Let's see. Yeah, there's 2 of them. So I think that's what it was, but I just thought the footage was kind of cool. I want to share it with you. Interesting. All right, there we go. Weird stuff. All right, now here's one I have to play for you, and this is going to run like a few minutes, but do not be disparaged. This is great footage. People are so sensitive. Like, we're living in, like, you know, a New World Order thought police type of an environment now, to say the least. And a lot of the stuff we've seen in old books and movies, 1984, A Brave New World I'd mentioned earlier, Logan's Run, you know, things I've read in Vonnegut, things I've read from Ray Bradbury. But, you know, we see all this stuff happening around us. Specifically, I'm talking about the extreme political correctness and how people are being triggered now, and even how triggered entered our worldwide vocabulary and understanding of something else. People, you know, essentially, when they say triggered, they mean it's a social justice warrior type person, or somebody who's mind controlled by the New World Order getting triggered, freaking out because you know, you do something against, you know, this New World Order thought system. anything that could be potentially deemed racist or misogynist or anything, right? Like you're just, they're triggered. But triggered goes back to MK Ultra. That's where I first learned about it, reading about MK Ultra, the history of it, mind control, and check out some Fritz Springmeier also, the connection with mind control and Illuminati slaves and things like this, but they trigger them. These people get triggered in certain ways. And now triggering is, again, like it's just a part of our everyday vocabulary. You got triggered, man. Hey, she's triggered. He's triggered. So that's what it is. And all this stuff manifests up from the dark into our reality now, right? So check this out, though, man. This is one of the craziest, for me, triggering type videos I've seen in quite a while. This lady really goes off, and this goes back to the great flag scare of last year. How everybody started freaking out about these rebel flags, right? So anyway, let's run this because it's worth it. It goes on for, like I said, maybe 4 minutes or so. But this will give me a chance. We've been going about an hour. I'm going to take a quick break, and I'll be right back as we're watching this. So check it out. Enjoy, okay?
Great. Confederate flags. What are you talking about? That's a symbol of slavery. That's like having a swastika on your wall. It's no different. This is shameful. This is everyday deals here in Southeast Portland. And this is where I usually do some grocery shopping. But today we are in here and we spot a Confederate flag. Over there on the wall. And they don't care.
Hi, bitch. Get out of here. Look at this liberal. Yeah, look at this little whiny bitch here. Hi. Hillary supporter, Bernie supporter, which one do you vote for that lost? Now are you in a bad mood?
No, I'm in a bad mood because there's hate symbols on the wall, and I brought my kids in here, and now I have to see hate signs on the wall because grocery shopping. I'm not hating anything. Oh my God.
Your kids do. Get them out of here. You're the one who started drawing. Go. Go. I will call the cops. You got the property. Bye. They don't like them. They'll just go for that. You need some cardboard bread and stuff. There. And your kids can spell anywhere.
Probably more than you. Okay, this is at 146th and Stark. There's Confederate flags hanging in this building. This is where I do my grocery shopping. Well, I used to. I will no longer ever do grocery shopping here. It's called Everyday Deals. It's here on the corner of 146th and Stark. I was called a bitch for asking about a Confederate flag hanging up. Oh my gosh. I'm floored. So again, this is this place. Don't ever shop here. Please let them know. They have 2 huge ass rugs hanging that are Confederate flags on the wall. And yeah, their response to me was to tell me I'm a bitch. Crazy. Confederate flags here at this place. 146th and Southeast Stark. The guy that's yelling at me says he's Mexican, so it doesn't matter that they have Confederate flags and I'm a bitch. Yeah, it's called Extreme. It's this place.
Hang in there. It gets crazy.
As soon as I asked about it, they started calling me a bitch and telling me to fuck off. Okay, well, please spread this. I don't know what else to say right now. I'm pretty shook up. I'm going to get the kids out of here. Anyway, 146th and Stark, Extreme Deals, have Confederate flags hanging, and according to them, it's my problem because I'm a bitch. Okay. So I can get out of here. Let me leave so I can get my kids out of here. Please leave me alone. I have to close them in their car seats. Let me be. Do not get any closer to me. Do not get any closer to me. Do not. Okay. Seriously, please do call the police. This is ridiculous. Get away from me. You're walking towards me. 2 men who are calling me a dumb bitch are approaching me in the parking lot. And I have 2 small children. Get away from me so I can load my kids up and leave.
I'm at work.
You're at work. I'm trying to leave. Do not get close because you're approaching me in a parking lot. And I have 2 small children. Please leave me alone. Please leave me alone. Walk away from me. I cannot leave when you keep approaching me from back. I was shopping in my car seat and you're coming You're okay. No, I'm not. He just attacked me at his door, and he's there following me. What's going on? Please make sure they don't get any closer. They won't. I told them they need to. They have Confederate flag hanging in their store, and I brought it up to him, and he started pulling me around and calling me a bitch. And saying there. And then I was shutting the door, and they came out. There was 3 of them, and they were following me into the parking lot. Daddy, please get it. Okay, sweetie? You okay, bud? Yeah? So I started taping it because they're following me and I don't know what else to do. Oh my god. I always shop here. I usually shop here, and then I saw they have Confederate flags, so I started asking them. And then they just started attacking me. Oh my god. And they were calling me a fucking bitch and all kinds of stuff, and oh my god, and then they started following me in the parking lot. I'm trying to leave with 2 toddlers and they're falling. Oh my god. Monsters. Evil people.
Anyway, you get the gist. That's just one example, though. I mean, I watch these things sometimes, these public freakouts, or cringe interactions or whatever. I can't help myself. And you learn a lot. It's one of the saddest things I've learned from watching this. And you also see this pop up in a lot of news stories, but so many times there's real crimes that are taking place out there and people aren't helping because they're too busy pulling out their iPhones or their phones and turning on the camera and recording or taking pictures. And they'd rather record this stuff and take pictures of it than actually maybe call the police or step in and try to help somebody out. And I see that in tons of these kinds of videos, tons of these videos. People they'll record the events while people are getting beat up or hurt or whatever, and they'll never help. And they record it and they put it online to try to get views, to get popularity. So, wow. Anyway, just want to share that with you. DNA of man who died in 1827 was recreated without his remains. This is really interesting. They can do this kind of crazy stuff, huh? Recreating a deceased person or animal's DNA is required that DNA be extracted from the remains of the individual. But a new study has shown that may not be the only way. The DNA of a man who died nearly 200 years ago has been recreated from his living descendants rather than his physical remains, something that has never been done before. Decode Genetics, a biopharmaceutical company in Iceland, achieved this feat by taking DNA samples from 182 Icelandic descendants of Hans Jonatan, a man who is quite an icon in Iceland, most well known for having freed himself from slavery in a heroic series of seemingly impossible events. It was the unique circumstances of Hans Jonatan's life that made it possible for his DNA to be recreated after his death. For one, he was the first Icelandic inhabitant with African heritage. Iceland also boasts an extensive and highly detailed collection of genealogical records. The combination of Jonatan's unique heritage and the country's record-keeping for inhabitants' family trees made this remarkable recreation possible. I guess that's him right there. Decode used DNA screened from 182 of his relatives, first reconstructing 38% of his mother Amelia's DNA. This elaborate study began with a whopping 788 of Jonatan's known descendants, but was able to be narrowed down to 182 through DNA screening against known markers. While this is truly an amazing feat, according to Robin Allaby of the University of Warwick in the United Kingdom, it seems to be the sort of analysis you can only do under particular circumstances when an immigrant genome is of a very rare type. So I imagine this story is also coming out right now because of the whole immigration thing that's happening out there in these areas. Like Sweden and Germany are getting hit real hard to name a few places, but makes me wonder if that's part of why they're putting the story out there now too. Anyway, that's interesting that they can do these kinds of things, huh? Here he is. Toot toot. Gotta love this story. You know, I get the same feeling in my gut every time I see Nancy Pelosi that I get when I see Hillary Clinton. I can almost not even say that last one's name. I almost threw up. Seriously, I can't stand some of these people. And that's difficult. I know, you want to love everybody, but it's really, really difficult sometimes with some of these people and the wickedness, you see them do, and they're into. So Nancy Pelosi, no big surprise, here's to be a guest judge on RuPaul's Drag Race All-Stars. And the country and the fix it's in, all the chaos all around, this is how we decide to spend our time. As the House Minority Leader, Nancy Pelosi, is going to be a guest judge on the new season of RuPaul's Drag Race All-Stars. It's a reality competition series that features putting drag queens through a series of challenges that culminates each week with the top 2 contestants lip-syncing for the power to send one of their peers home. Competition will be fierce as the queens shift their strategies and work extra hard to not only impress RuPaul and the judges, but also to impress each other. The California Democrat and first female Speaker of the House joins a handful of other celebrity guest judges, including actress Vanessa Hudgens, Titus Burgess, and Kristen Chenoweth. Jeepers. Pelosi's office did not immediately respond to CNN's request for comment on the details on her appearance, but she tweeted Thursday about the show. All I can say is, you better work with an E instead of an O. She wrote, quoting a famous RuPaul catchphrase, had a fabulous time with @RuPaul and good luck to all the queens. Drag Race Nancy, hashtag. No thanks. I also get this really gross feeling when I look at Johnny Depp. I did a pretty long video. This is where he looks fairly decent right here. Like, that's not, I don't know if that's a very recent picture or not. It might be an older picture. Because lately he's looking rough. I did a long form video on him on my website. You can go check it out. Again, whoiskjosborne.com. If you're interested, I have a lot of videos over there as well, outside of my YouTube channel. Johnny Depp might be joining Marilyn Manson's band. These are Hollywood Satanists. I mean, he is. He admits it. He's even a Freemason. Talks about it and everything. Skull and Bones, of course. American Illuminati, the 322. Johnny Depp. He's so creepy now. Like, so I'm kind of, that's a decent picture of him. He's looking all right there. I don't know. Is this a newer picture? I'm not sure. I doubt it. Most pictures, he looks miserable. And look at all the satanic films he's been in as well. I mean, if ever there was a Hollywood satanic sellout, I'm not trying to be a jerk here, but it's Johnny Depp. And it's not me just saying that. We judge people by their fruits, and there's plenty of fruits to be found which connect into that satanic system in Hollywood. Oh, this is just a bad move. Scottevest CEO. Scottevest is this thing right here. Turn the music off. It's off. Okay. You can see some of it. That's the guy right there, Scott Jordan. And that's kind of the basic idea right there. You saw that kind of thing go down, but it's a vest that's got just basically pockets for everything you could ever need. Scottevest. And this is the guy, Scott Jordan. But on Sunday, Scott Jordan decided to attack his customers on Facebook. He said that he advertises on Fox News because the viewers are gullible and effing idiots. He says, I love meeting new people that recognize me and my company from all our television commercials. I'm on the ski lift, and the following exchange just happened and happens often. I ask what network they saw me on. Invariably, people say Fox News. I laugh to myself and tell them that we primarily advertise on Fox because we find their viewership to be extremely gullible and much easier to sell than other networks. The look on their face at the time is priceless. I'm not kidding you. I get to tell them they are effing idiots while getting rich off of them. And people like this, this is the problem right here, which is sad. Here's a guy, it's the American dream, right? Created something, and he's, I'm guessing, making a living off it. He's advertising on Fox News. Probably doing really well. American dream. Then he just, spits right in his customers' faces and spits in the face of his sponsor. So, bad move. Bad move, right? Woody Allen's archive writings are filled with directors' vivid obsession with young women and girls. This guy's a creep, and he's one of those Hollywood pedos connected with that whole side of it all, no doubt. A real creeper, and I say that not just because of this little article here, but because of this little article right here. This is huge news. I didn't see this really in the mainstream. It's covered online by some mainstream sources, but I didn't see this yet in the news. So I don't know if this is one of those things where, they're waiting on this one, or if they're even going to cover it at all. But this is huge. In her first TV interview, Woody Allen's adopted daughter has expressed her hurt and outrage at being ignored for years. Dylan Farrow appeared on CBS This Morning and questioned why she shouldn't feel outraged about being... Well, she was on CBS This Morning. I guess that's fairly mainstream. Why she shouldn't feel outraged about being ignored and disbelieved and tossed aside. She said, why shouldn't I want to bring him down? Farrow said she was molested in her home's attic by Woody Allen in 1992 when she was just 7 years old. Allen was investigated but not charged and has long denied the allegations made against him. Meanwhile, several actors are now distancing themselves from Allen, which has heightened the future of the Hollywood director in the wake of the MeToo movement. And there's a lot more to this if you're interested. You can look up this interview here with Dylan Farrow right here. All right? And let's get, again, this is the side of it. I love that these wicked people are being exposed. But as with anything else, they'll take even natural movements that come around. They can use them for bad things, or just, make them go off the rails and go a little crazy. Like with the Me Too thing and all these people being exposed. There's elements where it's obviously a bit of a witch hunt, and it can get a lot worse. And then the other side is some of these creeps really do need to be exposed. So Woody Allen is one of those creeps. Some cool pictures right here. Apparently, this is from, two of the photos are from the garage fires in Taylor, Michigan. The shake of the meteor was near Detroit area. The shake and the sound was a sonic boom, and it caused a 2.0 earthquake. So people are saying that all this stuff was related. Right here. That's a crazy one. What's this? Wild, right? It's like something out of a movie. So there's that. You probably heard about, we talked about it a little bit in the very beginning, but the meteors, and then there was an earthquake right after this one. So interesting. Not going to cover a lot on this yet. This story is still developing, and this is kind of a mainstream story. The teens that escaped, the 13 kids, the family, right? They escaped from these, the creepy mom and dad right here. We're not supposed to judge a book by its cover, but seriously though, I mean, just, you look at these people and they just look really dark and weird and creepy, right? The haircut doesn't help. I mean, I'm not trying to be, but the haircut, that's not helping. The little Dutch boy haircut. I don't care how normal you are, or good and normal and awesome and cool, but if you put on one of these haircuts, that little Dutch boy, and you're an older man, no offense, guys, but it's creepy. It's creepy. So yeah, this story just happened. Luckily, the kids got out of the situation. It's still developing. We'll see where it goes. Let's see how the media tries to, what they use the story for. What's the narrative going to be? I don't see them attacking their. I don't see any religious stuff connected with this yet, but I do see a lot of the media groups talking about them being homeschooled. But they're always trying to demonize homeschooling because they want your kids in the institution. They want your kids in that 12-year-long institution of public schools. The indoctrination centers. I went through it. Most of you went through it. But it's gotten a lot worse. Common Core, to name one of the issues, I'm sure. And a lot of these lady teachers can't keep their grubby paws off of the kids. This is like a real epidemic. Like a Jezebel spirit thing running loose, It's like every week there's a new female teacher that's getting busted, putting her grubby paws all over these kids. It's the meteorite here, some footage of it, the one over Michigan. There've been so many meteors lately too. I've got a video I'm working on about UFOs and some sightings in the skies, but it's like I can't even keep up with that. I mean, every day or every few days, there's a new UFO video or a meteor coming out of the sky. So it's that. This is a crazy story. And again, it just shows that connection of the military industrial complex, the CIA, the alphabet agencies, all these groups and their connections to celebrities. It should come as no surprise, but CIA friends asked Moby, the singer Moby, to spread the word of the Trump-Russia collusion on social media. In a recent interview, Moby said his friends at the CIA asked him to take advantage of a greater social media following to spread rumors about President Donald Trump's alleged collusion with Russia during the 2016 campaign. Multi-award-winning recording artist and activist Moby gave an interview to WFPK on Thursday to promote his new album, Everything Was Beautiful and Nothing Hurt, but somehow ended up spending the last half of the interview talking about Trump and Russia. Moby said he made friends with a few active and former CIA agents over the years who told him they were really concerned, quote unquote, that Trump was essentially being run as a Russian agent. They said, this is the Manchurian Candidate. Have you seen that movie? Check it out. This is the Manchurian Candidate. Like Russian President Vladimir Putin has a Russian agent as the president of the United States. Moby recalled his friends telling him. 8:10. You want to watch this? This is the last video, so we can watch this here. Starts around here. Okay.
Wrapped up in the news cycles and everything. And there was that moment last year, a very cryptic post that you put last February where you sort of outlined things that were probably going to happen. And some of that has happened, right?
Yeah. So years of touring and spending time in DC and New York, I've managed to make a few friends in the intelligence community. And I guess it was about a year ago, we were having dinner and they were really concerned, partially based on this, not to go too much in the weeds, but like this Fusion GPS report on Trump essentially being run as a Russian agent. And these are some active and former CIA agents who they're truly concerned. They were like, this is the Manchurian Candidate. Like, you have a Russian agent as the president of the United States. And so they passed on some information to me and they said, like, look, you have more of a social media following than any of us do. Can you please post some of these things just in a way to sort of put it out there? And, you look at Dianne Feinstein, who released the testimony from when Fusion GPS went before the Senate Judiciary Committee, and she just released those notes yesterday. And yeah, it does seem like, to what extent there's collusion, I don't know, but where there's smoke, there's fire. And when you have so much evidence pointing to the fact that the Trump administration is really in bed with the Russians in a very pernicious way. And unfortunately, I just don't see people in Congress sort of holding the administration accountable.
Yeah.
It's really disturbing, and it's going to get quite a lot darker. Like, the depths of the Trump family and business, their involvement with organized crime, sponsors of terrorism, Russian oligarchs. Like,
I mean, again, I'm not a part of that false left-right paradigm, but I mean, Anyway, I'll just leave it at that. But make up your own mind on that stuff. It's interesting. Does he really know CIA people? Are they just messing with him? Are they trying to get him just to put this false narrative out when they might know the truth? Or, some of you may think that it is true. It's up to you to decide. So that was actually the last story. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take a little bit of time here. I'm going to jump over to the chat and make sure that you're still here. Make sure I still have an audience. You guys still there? Okay, cool. Looks like you're still there. And chat's going by, hey, Joe Cole Flyer. Hope I said your name right, Joe. But good to see Israel's here. Vasquez, nice to see you, sir. Oh, gosh. Oh, Evan Alexander's here. Saw Jacko. Oh, man, y'all are moving by so fast, I can't even call you all out. But thanks for being here. I said this last week. I'm going to go ahead and schedule a catching up with KJ. I'll probably do, and hi, Tina. How you doing? I'll probably do one this week, like during the day, like maybe around 2 in the afternoon or something like that, just so we can hang out and chat a little bit. And then in the future, I'll plan one in the evening. I'm trying to get a guest on. His name's L.A. Marzulli. I reached out to him on Facebook. I haven't heard back yet, so maybe we'll hear back from him sometime. But I think he'd really like to hear some of what this guy's into and knows. He's a very interesting guy. So anyway, like I said, man, just thanks, guys. I'm back here looking at the chat, just saying hi, Travis Reed. How you doing, man? He said, can you tell the rules of Zion? Oh, the elders of Zion. Yeah. Hi, Tina. How you doing? Yeah, Method. How you doing? I've covered that in some videos. I know it's really important. I'll do a video soon where I kind of, I do these videos where I put all this stuff together. Jadester, what's up? I'll do that. So, Protocols of Zion. Thanks. Yes, I've covered that in the past. I'll do more of that sometime in the future. Sarah Snyder said, oh, hey, Sarah, I'm sorry to hear that. I'm sorry about that. She said somebody tried to sue her. So let's see here. I slowed down the chat. Now I'm just kind of scrolling down here. And let's see. Hi, Jenny One Love. Good to see you. I just want to say hi to a few people. Is that cool with you guys? I'm in no rush. I haven't done this in a while. I'll just kind of end the show doing this. Let's see. Laughing Cedar Woman said, KJ, do you know about the protocols of Zion? Not sure what to think, but scary stuff if it's real. There's different theories on if it's real or not, but I mean, even beyond the protocols, just look into the Talmud, where they believe that Jesus is burning in hell in human feces right now. You can look into the Kabbalah, the Kabbalists, all this stuff. And it's stuff I've covered for years off and on. I got to remember to keep making videos and putting this stuff back out again sometimes. I just kind of take it for granted that most of you know a lot of this stuff, but I forget, we're growing and we still get more people come on board the show and the videos and the channel. So I got to keep that in mind. Haley Corwin, hi, thank you. Big Mac, what's up? How you doing? Sarah Snyder, hey, good to see you. Thanks. Angelo, there he is. Hold on, Angelo. I tried to call you back a few times. I know we missed each other here and there, and I'm really bad about keeping up on my emails and stuff, but I'll get in touch with you sometime so we can talk, okay? Angelo's been a longtime friend. I had him on some catching up with KJ a few times, and he's been away for a while. He recently came back or went back home. And it's good to have him back here with us. And just thanks, Angelo. So, yeah, let's chat again sometime here soon, okay? Aaron Shewitt, how you doing, bud? Good to see you, sir. Just going to scroll down. Sugar Bear, how you doing? Yep, I'm just scrolling down. Nancy Fondren, hi, Nancy. Philip Pringle, good old Philip. How you doing, Philip, man? Always nice to see you here, sir. You've been here for a long time. And just scrolling down with KJ, exactly. It's like the old days. Scrolling down with KJ. Melissa Shively says, how's the cat? It's been a while. Hey, Melissa, you know what? I've actually got a video of me and Chubbs playing fetch together. Or really, it's him, but he loves fetch. And I put it on my Facebook. I put this up a while back, just a few weeks ago. My Facebook's KJ Osborne, OZBORNE. If you guys want to be a Facebook friend, you'll see my first run videos from my website. Go there first. And also all my stuff from YouTube and everything else goes there as well. Plus, I'm able to talk to people there. I haven't even checked messages on Facebook, though, in like a month. So if you're a friend there and you're wondering why I haven't responded, I'm sorry. I just get caught up in my own head and my own projects a lot. So I'll try to be better about that. Okay. But anyway, so I do have video of Chubbs. He made his appearance and he's playing some fetch. It's on my Facebook. So sooner or later, maybe I'll make another video here with him and just put it up on the YouTube so you guys can get a view of Chubbs and him playing his favorite game, fetch. He's awesome. So I'm just going to do this one more time, do a couple more clicks, run down. If I miss anybody, I'm real sorry, guys. Pandora Quinn's here. Good to see you, Pandora, always. And let's see here. Mad Guns Forever, man. What's up? How are you? Peculiar Perspective says, KJ, you should talk with LA about the ill little fairy type creatures found. I would love to. The little fairy type creatures found in Mexico. I love paranormal, cryptozoology, all that stuff too. So yeah, that'd be interesting. Thanks. Let's see. Scrolling on down. Mad Guns. He says, what do you make of this? Everyone in the entertainment industry is a tranny movement. I'm sick of it. And I think I'm one of the few people that I've been calling this out for quite a while. I've had it on a few shows. I've talked about this. This everyone's a tranny stuff is the new, no offense, guys, but it's just a new, no nukes. It's a new Hitler was a good guy. It's the new flat earth in some, in some respects to me. And that's just me, guys. Again, no offense. I'm still, like I said before, there's people into flat earth and stuff like that I greatly respect and I think are great people, and they just see something I don't. It's just that simple. I'm just not into it. But then there's that massive psyop side of the flat earth that I can't stand, that I see, where it's like people treat it like a religion. But no, man, I'm seeing this tranny stuff pop up all over the place now. Everyone's a tranny. This is a new psyop as far as I'm concerned. It's popping up in my videos and comments for a good almost year now. It's one of the new ones. It's one of the new ones. I just think it's another one of the psyops that's bleeding into this kind of culture, bleeding into people who are seeking truth, bleeding into these groups, and it's just trying to muddy the waters even more. So that's my opinion. But I've definitely addressed it, and I'm definitely seeing it all the time, and it's annoying. Another part of the psyop is that there's a few people on YouTube that make videos like that everyone's a tranny. And for a while, they were trying this one on me. Again, I see these psyops, front and center. I've been doing this for so many years, guys. I see it for what it is. I'm telling you. Because I'll see a lot of the same messages keep popping up from out of nowhere on multiple videos. They're just overnight. And then it's like for the next month, I keep getting the same messages. And that recently happened where all these, and they're always ghost channels, right? There's nothing there. You go to the channel, there's nothing there. But all these people kept saying that I sound exactly like another YouTuber. And when I went and looked at this person's channel, these are one of these people that cover all this, everyone's a tranny stuff. So I felt that's another psyop, trying to get that person's name out there, get people to go to his channel, and also trying to connect me with that dumb psyop. So I'm not into it. I blocked that channel. I block people immediately that bring that message up. If you say I sound like this person or I am this person, you're gone, and I have to be that way. You got to be hardcore about this. This is a real battle. People don't realize it, especially people that just listen and they don't have YouTube channels. I think a lot of times they might not realize how hard some of us get hit with garbage like this, and what it is. When you've been in this for so long, making videos and being on YouTube and trying to share your truth and ruffling some feathers, you start seeing these patterns, So anyway, I'm rambling. This is what I do. Like Jerzak said, KJ is a black tranny. So there you go. Jerzak says KJ is a black tranny. Let's see. I want to scroll back a little bit. It's nice just kind of chatting with you for a second, guys. It's been a while. Hi, Grey Wolf. How you doing, man? I saw you here in the beginning. Nice to see you. Barine Jen, nice to see you. Method Marine, what's up? Still moving on down. Jawma, how you doing, man? Jerome Modigliani says KJ meets True Theorists. Would be an awesome show. Man, I tried to, his name's Christopher. I tried to have him on. Now, he and I have very different views on some things, very different views, but I've been subbed to him, or had been subbed to him for years, and I think a lot of his stuff's very interesting. He's really good with symbolism and all this, and the esoteric and the occult and exposing these things. But, he definitely doesn't believe in Jesus Christ or any of that kind of stuff, and, but like I said, we have very different views on some things, but that never made me not like him. Like I said, I think he's interesting. I obviously wish everyone believed the way I could. You know, if I could walk this earth and twist everybody's arm behind their back and force them to accept Jesus as their personal Lord and Savior, I certainly would. I can't do that, you know, so I just love people. I accept them for where they're at in their walk. I pray that people find the truth they need to find, and then you can't worry about the world. But I would like to meet with him. He was supposed to do a rigged reality radio show with me like a few years ago. I was trying to get him on there, and something happened, and we got disconnected before the show, and it just never went off. But yeah, man, I would definitely like to talk to Christopher Lord, I think his name is. At least that's the name he goes by. But that's True Theory, his name of the channel. So yeah. Thanks for bringing that up. Oh, let's see here. What else do we got? Just for a little bit before I let you go. It's Friday night. I don't want to keep you in all night. Some of y'all might have things to do or things to watch or cats to play fetch with, or, you know, whatever it is you do, you probably have something you want to do. And, you know, it's not to say that some of these people aren't. I mean, the idea that the president of the United States wife, I believe, if anybody out there, I believe, you know, she's most likely a man. You know, and I've done some videos on that as well. So to accept something that wild, you know, I know you'd think, oh, well, then you got to accept all of it. You know, it's like, no, you don't. Not all these people are freaking trannies, man. I mean, you know, don't even get me started. Anyway, I'm just going to keep scrolling down. Who else we got here? Jenny, I said hi to. Natalie Ann, what's up? Good to see you. Of course, Mia Measy. Big fan of Mia Measy and Effie. My mods tonight. I appreciate y'all, ladies. I do. All right, guys. You know what? I think you're pretty much caught up there. I will do a catching up show this week so we can just hang out and chat like this sometime. Just wanted to say hi real quick. It's been a while. Guys, thanks so much for watching, listening, for being a part of the community, for being cool with each other. I always see friends. You know, some of y'all become friends over there in the chat, then I see y'all being friends forever. We've been doing this for a long time, you know, so this and the catching up shows and also the rigged reality. A lot of y'all have been with me for a long time, and some people are new. Jay Boogie, what's up, man? Aaron Michael. So yeah, man, much love to you guys. Like I said, if you'd like to support the channel and the work and the shows, Patreon link on my website, whoiskgosborne.com, PayPal, thescariestmovieever @gmail.com. Also, please look into supporting Silver Botanicals, wonderful people as well behind this company. They have a code you can use for a discount. It's on my website as well under sponsors. You can find the code there. I'll put it in the link below too, okay? Otherwise, other than that, even if you can't help support the work or whatever, just the fact you're here, your prayers, your engagement, you know, watching the videos, sharing the videos, liking the videos, all that stuff matters, man. So I'm rambling. I'm going to stop now. This is what I do. God bless you guys. Take care. More videos on the way this week and a new show next Friday.